Okay, so first of all, who was your client and what did you work towards doing for him?
Our client was Bill, and his issue was his whole left side was immobile because he had a stroke. So our job
He also
was
happens to be left-handed.
to help him get out of bed because he's struggled getting out of bed without the ability to move both sides of his body.
Okay, and so your idea was to design something to help him, like a bar. He had a
Yeah.
bar there, but it was really
It was
difficult.
behind
Mhm.
his head, and it was virtually impossible for him to actually gain any leverage with it, and it was very bad on his arm.
And he did have a bed that did
It went up, it
raise
just
the
didn't
head
go
of the
far
bed
enough.
up, but he was stuck at a certain
Yeah,
point. He just
he
couldn't.
sit up.
And he also struggled getting back into bed, didn't he?
Yeah, that was
Okay.
another issue.
So what was your initial design, like when you met him? You all got, there were many things that were wrong with Bill. What made you think of like, okay, we can work on this? Like what attracted you to that thing? What was it?
Do you mean the bed? is
Yeah,
the thing
what
you
that
were-
problem, because he had a couple problems, right? Like getting in and out of
Well,
his car and.
The car, from what I gather, the three of us groups that worked on Bill, if I recall correctly, we all kind of said, hey, we're three different groups. He had roughly three different problems.
Okay,
One group ended up on his chair, one group ended up on his car. We took the bed.
okay.
I'd also been thinking about the bed because that seemed to be his biggest issue aside
Yeah,
from the
I
car.
was drawn to the bed because it seemed like it was the most used, so it'd be the hardest to use every day. So if we could conquer that,
Mhm.
we could conquer any other.
Yep, and you could get him some big independence, just being able to get out of bed in the morning, right?
Yeah.
That's a big thing. Okay, what made it personal for you? What made that work personal for you, working on Bill and making him independent? Why was it personal for you, or was it just another project?
I'm just helping people. I don't know that it's necessarily personal. It's
Mhm.
just what people should be doing.
Okay.
Personally, my grandma had a stroke in the past, and I saw how hard it was for her after that. So being able to help someone else with a stroke was really like, I don't know how to say it. but,
Just
like,
reward.
Yeah,
And it made,
rewarding.
I mean, and you had that connection to the problem of,
Yeah.
seeing her struggle, and if you can help
Exactly.
somebody else not struggle,
Exactly.
it's big, yeah. Do you think that you've been successful in this class?
Do I have an A? What do I? What
Well,
do I have?
Well, okay, but this is what I would ask you. Is success to you about the A, or is success to you about having completed that project and had it worked for the person?
I think we succeeded overall in what we were
Yeah.
trying to do in creating the solution.
Right.
Considering what we had compared
Right, so
with
that's what
our
you
first
started with,
prototype,
right?
Yeah. Our
This
first
wasn't
idea.
exactly a prototype per se. It was an idea of a telescoping thing.
Mm-hmm. Which is what you kind of ended up with,
Well,
but with
it doesn't telescope; it just rotates,
Mhm.
Right.
and it goes up and down.
It could go up, which is telescoping, right?
Sort
could go
of
up.
telescoping, telescope.
Periscoping,
It's
yeah.
a little bit different. It's
So success meaning, if I tell you got an A in the class, does that mean you're successful?
by standard metrics of did I succeed in terms of people will look at this and go yes, yes.
Okay,
If I succeeded by doing absolutely nothing whatsoever, no.
okay. So the definition of success in this class is that you were able to complete a project. It might not be at its end, final stage, but you've done all the work: prototyping, problem solving, brainstorming, iterations, reiterations. Have you been successful in all of those things?
I think yes.
I believe so.
'cause
Yeah.
We've gone back to the drawing board
Three,
a lot of
four
times.
You blew it up one time, didn't you?
Oh,
I mean, you
yeah.
literally blew it up. Like and that's difficult, isn't it? When you're at that stage where you think, okay, I got this, and then you're like, this isn't gonna work.
Hold on, when did we blow it up?
I think didn't you go there the first time? And it didn't work. That's when you realized it had to go under the bed,
Yeah,
or there
we
was
were-
one.
We thought it would
Mhm.
attach to the
We had a
bar,
completely different,
and
yeah.
Yeah.
Then it just.
You were
Met-
going to attach it to the
metaphorically
bar.
blew it up.
Yeah. So just that thinking, right? That ability to go, oh, it doesn't have to attach to the bar. It could attach here. Okay.
And we completely ended up detaching the original bar.
What did you learn about yourself that you might take into, if you're going into a career now, or if you're going into college? What is something that you've learned in this class that you could take into the next stage of your life, whatever that is?
I tend to come up with an idea and let someone else try to execute it.
Oh.
I would say determination, because even though we messed up, we still went back to the drawing board and kept rebuilding and rebuilding.
Right, total failure was not an option in this class ever, was it? Never. It was never gonna be an option. So even if your first, second, third, fourth, I don't care if your 10th try didn't work, every try hopefully got you further down the road. I will be honest, I think you went and sought out the perfect person to help you, which was Mr. Bradshaw, right?
Yes.
I mean, he really, and you gave him an avenue, I think, that he hasn't had in the school already, right? So, I mean, I thank you for that, because you showed me, wow, Mr. Bradshaw really gets this work, doesn't he? He really gets the work, so thank you for that. And I think you made a great team, you know, and it was nice that he showed you. I saw the excitement when I came in the shop and you were actually like on a machine, like you were working on a machine.
Yeah, I'd used the drill press before, but the other ones were a little bit.
Yeah. So he's more of that, you know, watch me and now you do. So I think that was a good thing. So you think that will change because now you won't you'll come up with the idea and have somebody else make it. You liked being involved in the creation of it.
Or alternatively overdo it and overcompensate.
Okay, you gotta find that middle ground,
Yeah.
Lucas. Did it make a difference because you made something for somebody? You didn't just make a project for me, your teacher, or whatever. Did it make a difference?
I think it did.
I'd say
Yeah.
it's similar to the difference between studying math and studying physics. Physics is applied mathematics.
Mhm. So this
Having a
was kind
reason
of
to do it,
applying
yeah.
everything, yeah. Because most times we do things for a grade, right? And this was not really done for a grade. You knew that as long as you got the things in line, you were gonna get the grade, so. What's one thing you would change if you could, or you wish you would have done? One thing you wish you would have done or you could have changed?
The only thing that just popped into my head is maybe we could have painted the bar like hot rod red or something.
Okay, yeah, I mean, so just modified it again, yeah? Any change?
I don't
You can't think of
know.
anything? What about the class? Anything you would, just for me mostly, anything you would change about the class? I realize 2 days a week doesn't work very well, but it was what we had to work with, but anything about the class you would change?
Well, I didn't like going back to AutoCAD.
Okay. So you want to stay forever, is that what you're saying? And I do believe the next format would be, you know, I'm toying with 2 weeks in hopefully 5 days a week, but 2 weeks in biotech, 1 week back in your home, and then, so a 2-in-1 sort of thing,
Instead
so.
of a 6 and 3.
Yeah, even though I think that, so I don't, there's good and bad about that, but yeah. So nothing else you can think of that you would change about the class, or
Not off the top.
Not bio.
more paperwork? You good
No.
without the, okay.
Good with 0.
Yeah.
All right, well, it's been a really pleasure, you guys. I really appreciated all your hard work in the class, and I think that your bed bar thing was, I think that we're gonna hear more about that. I really do. I think, you know, you're gonna be called upon maybe in later stages to reproduce some of those, okay? So nice job.
Thank you.
All right, you're done.